The coffee had gone cold between my hands as Liam sat across from me, his expression carefully measured, the same look he'd been giving me for weeks now whenever we talked about us. "I think we should try couples therapy," he said, leaning forward with that earnest tone that had once made me feel heard. Now it just made my stomach clench. Therapy? I set down the mug, watching the cream swirl in useless patterns. I know we've been struggling, but Jess, we keep having the same fights. You get defensive, I get frustrated, and we go in circles. He reached across the table, his fingers barely grazing mine. "I found someone really good, Dr. Michelle Wright. She specializes in communication patterns in relationships." Something in his voice made me look up. There was an eagerness there, barely contained beneath his concerned boyfriend facade. Like he'd already made the appointment. "You already looked into this." "I care about us," he said simply. "Don't you?" The question hung there like a trap. Of course I cared. I'd been the one trying to bring up our problems for months. How he'd grown distant. How he seemed irritated by everything I did. How conversations felt like negotiations I was always losing. But every time I tried to talk, he'd somehow turned it around until I was apologizing for bringing it up in the first place. "Okay," I heard myself say. "Let's try it." His smile was immediate and brilliant. "I'll call tomorrow." Dr. Wright's office was everything you'd expect from a therapist. Soft lighting, beige walls, abstract art that meant nothing to anyone. She was younger than I'd imagined, maybe early 30s, with perfectly styled black hair and a warmth in her eyes that felt genuine. "So, what brings you both here today?" she asked, settling into her chair with practiced ease. I glanced at Liam, unsure where to start. We'd agreed in the car that he would do most of the talking. He was better with words, he'd said. "We love each other," Liam began, "but we're having trouble communicating. Jess tends to shut down when we disagree, and I end up feeling like I'm walking on eggshells around her." I felt my face flush. Yes, I got quiet sometimes, but that's because every time I spoke up, he had a way of making me feel stupid. "Jess, how do you see it?" Dr. Wright asked, her pen poised over her notepad. I looked at Liam, who was watching me with that patient expression he'd perfected. "I guess sometimes I feel like my feelings aren't valid. Like when I try to express something that's bothering me, it becomes about how I'm expressing it wrong instead of the actual issue." Dr. Wright nodded, scribbling notes. "Can you give me an example?" I thought about last week's fight about Liam canceling our anniversary dinner to have drinks with his coworkers. When I told him I was